What's happening, y'all? It's your boy Andre Romance, and I am back with another one. Alright, today I'm bringing 7 things that could hinder your growth. Number 1 thing that can hinder your growth in life is pride. Nothing says that I'm better than you, I'm in competition with you, more than being over prideful about what you do in your life and what you have. So you want to be careful how you maneuver your happiness within self, that you don't offend other people into believing that you're prideful, that you think you're better than them in any way. Alright. The second thing that could hinder you from growing is envy. This is the opposite of what pride would be. Envying what other people have, what their status is, what their abilities are, what their gifts are. You want to be careful that you're not putting yourself in a position to want so much of what everybody else has that you become envious, you become jealous of what they're doing. You become this person where you feel like you should be the one in that position. And so that's another thing that could hinder your growth. You got to stay away from that mindset of thinking. The third one is gluttony. You want to be careful about how much you consume, okay? Don't overstep your boundaries. Don't overdo the things that you're doing. You got to know how much to have, and you got to know what's the right portion for you to ingest, if that makes sense to anybody. Your growth. You want to gauge how much you're taking in so that you don't overdo. You don't over-exaggerate your movement, your growth. Alright? If you give a plant too much water, that plant will drown. If you give that plant too much sun, that sun will wither that plant. So you gotta be careful. You gotta have just the right amounts of this, just the right amounts of that. But it's up to you to know how much you need and don't overstep what you need. The fourth one I'm bringing to y'all is lust. We have to be careful about this one. Lust is the crave of the pleasure that the body receives. Okay, this flesh, this physical being that you see here is the flesh. And it has its own desires outside of the spirit, outside of the soul. And so we got to be careful that we're not going after the full pleasure of just this flesh. It's more than about this flesh. Our desires are to be on pursuing the happiness of the spirit and our souls, not more so flesh. Number 5, anger. Anger, also known as wrath. This is one that could destroy a relationship, destroy a business, destroy anything. Pretty much anything that you have in your life. Anger, wrath could destroy that. You want to be in a position where you're looking at things from a love perspective, not from an anger perspective, not from a wrath perspective. This goes into how even we were raised. You know, I think that when you're raising children, you can easily become angered by children or not having the patience that you need to deal with children. And this in return brings out the anger in you, brings out the wrath in you. And before you know it, you done yelled at them, you done screamed at them, and they don't know no better. They're just little explorers, you know. They're after the knowledge that you have. And so you have to look at it from a loving standpoint, and this is how we have to go about life itself. We've got to look at things in a loving standpoint and not so much as an angry and a hateful way of thinking about negative things that happen in our lives. Number 6, greed. Be careful about greed. Greed is when you want to be on top so much that you will do anything to get it. You will step on people to get it. You will backstab your friends. You will lie and cheat on people to get the status that you want, to get the amount of money that you want. And then once you get that amount of money, that's not enough. You just keep going and going and going, and you end up in that gluttony phase. You know what I'm saying? Where you have so much you can't do nothing with it. You want to be careful about greed. Be careful about how much you consume, how much you go after, and what becomes most important in your life. Materialistic things should never be priority over people and love and uplifting everybody around you. Making sure that y'all all on the same path. Never put yourself above anybody. This is what greed does. Greed makes you feel like you're better than everybody in the room. Greed does all of those things, so stand clear of that. That is a big one that could hinder your growth. My last but not least, number 7 would be sloth. Yes, SLOTH, sloth. And it is when you avoid physical and spiritual work. This is when a person just sits on their gifts, sits on their talents, sits on their abilities to do things. You want to be careful to never get in this position, never get in this status to where you avoid working, you avoid growing, you avoid the opportunities that come in your path. You want to be moving forward into everything you get your hands on. You ought to be taking full advantage of it. You have to apply yourself. You have to go out and you have to make these things happen. Whatever you want in your life, you have to make it happen. Y'all to stand clear of these 7 things in your process of self-growth. All of these things are working against you, and you want to pursue a happier area in your life other than these 7 things, all right? I love y'all. I want to see y'all in the next one. Keep me up. I'm going to keep y'all up, and I'm out of this thing, man.